it is perfectly clear that President Trump of the USA is a white racist. But I do wish to point out that the battle between the racists and fascists and the anti-fascists is in fact a distraction of the much bigger racial and other issues going on in the world in which President Trump is complicit. Trump is a supporter of something which is not just resulting in disorder on the streets, but in the massacre of hundreds of thousands. He is a supporter of the Wahhabist philosophy and the Wahhabist practices of Salafism and Takfiri, which lie behind all the massive destruction in the Middle East. He is in fact involved in what is a massive war in which the Wahhabist forces led by Saudi Arabia are trying to wipe out all the Shia peoples of the Middle East. At the same time, I wish to point out that these distractions, to some extent, this is what's called the identity of politics, which is going on. It's a distraction from the bigger issues of economics and economic failure. What's happening in America and in Europe, by the way across the world, is that the old well-paid jobs are not coming into existence, and they cannot come into existence under the existing regimes, because you see there's a technological shift. And all that's happening is that although there are some good jobs, most jobs, if they come into existence, are temporary and low paid. And here we have people fighting about identity and being distracted from the fact that they are they're not going to have an economic future. And at the same time, they are being put into massive amounts of debt. And how many people, of those people on the streets of Charlottesville, really understand that they are being spied on left, right, and center, and that America is moving towards a fascist state quicker than would seem possible, and it is taking place perhaps under Donald Trump. So yes, the disorder revealed white racism on the part of Trump and his supporters, and at the same time it was showing us a distraction from the much wider issues, that there is a type of racism going on a much bigger, wider scale in Trump's support for Saudi Arabia, Wahhabism, and the Daesh and the Takfiri killers all the way around. So please, yes, let us fight against this. At the same time, remember that Trump is the agent of much bigger destructive forces, and that Trump is going to bring more disaster on America, and that just fighting in the streets of Charlottesville will not in itself stop it. People have to wake up and look at the bigger political and economic issues.